Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Conscious Cruiser. We are your hosts today. I'm Chet from Sea Lake Journeys. With me today is Elisa from Elisa's Adventures in Cruising, Scott from Controversial Cruising, and today we've got an episode for you on staying on board the ship in the port. And we're going to talk all about it right after this.
Yeah.
Welcome into the Conscious Cruiser podcast, the know before you go approach to cruising and travel. The smartest cruiser is the Conscious Cruiser. And your conscious casters, Elisa, Chet, and Scott.
All right. Hey, Conscious Cruisers, are y'all ready to have some fun tonight? This morning?
This
What time
morning?
is it?
What day is it? Is it
It's
Monday?
Monday, guys. It's Monday morning.
It's Monday.
This weekend went fast.
Sounds like y'all need a mood check or something. Whew.
Oh yeah, we'll do that later.
I'm probably going to miss that one because I'm going to be on a ship. So no guarantees that I'll be there because I don't know where I'll be. I might be in the comedy club. I might be in the pool. I might be asleep. I don't know what I'll be doing.
You'll be eating a grilled cheese.
Could
Way
be
to
either
rub it
grilled cheese.
in, Chet. Way to rub it in.
I got to rub it in while I can. You guys been cruising. Y'all been leaving me at home here to do it all. You know,
Okay.
it's my turn. My turn.
It is your turn. It's your turn.
Fine.
Okay, guys, we're going to kick it off with the first question here tonight. Have you ever stayed on board the ship while you were in port? And if you did, why did you do it? And of course, here at the Conscious Cruiser, we always start with ladies first. Surprise, Elisa.
Surprise! Have I ever stayed on board? Not intentionally. So you know how I was just on the Super Bowl at Sea Cruise, and we ended up having some bad weather, and our scheduled port stop at Perfect Day at Coco Cay was canceled. So we ended up having a port day sea day.
Nope.
So yes, I stayed on the ship then. But generally, when we are in port, I always get off, even if it's just to walk to the shops right there on the pier, to see something. I like to touch the land. I like to get out and say that I was there, you know. So I generally get off the ship when we're in port, even if I've been there several times before.
Okay. Well, what about you, Scott? Have you ever decided, hey, I ain't getting off here today. I'm going to stay out here on this here ship?
Yeah, I am actually the opposite. So if I have been somewhere a bunch of times, like Nassau, Bahamas, not talking bad about Nassau, Bahamas, but Nassau, Bahamas, or Cozumel is another one that I've been to,
Mhm.
or a port that I'm not fond of, like Freeport, Bahamas, which I've also been to a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I will opt to stay on the ship and make it a somewhat of a sea day because a lot of times, most of the people will get off on the ship. So you will have somewhat a seemingly uncrowded ship to kind of wander around on. It also gives you an opportunity to maybe do some things that you wouldn't have done because they were so packed, or maybe try a restaurant that you wouldn't have tried because the wait was too long or whatnot. The other reason why I would have stayed on the ship, and this I actually did do this on World America, was for the ship itself. So if I'm on a ship like one of the new ships, Heroes coming out, or World America, World Asia, I would maybe not World Asia, but World America, I would pick a port that I've been to at least the most times, and I would stay to get content for the ship or something like that, or obviously try to go down a dry slide or a wet slide or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, and just try to, kind of get all of the amenities from the ship itself rather than a port that I've been to. So,
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah, there are some good reasons to stay on the ship. You know, like you say, a bad weather, been there 18,000 times, or
Right.
or maybe it's got a bad reputation. Maybe there's a danger level you've heard of.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I don't want to deal with pickpockets today, so I'm not getting off there. And I've actually seen this hasn't happened to me, but I have people, tell me that they've been to places and there was a big protest going on, and they said, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm just going to stay on the ship.
Makes
But
sense.
I have stayed on the ship just simply because the spa prices are pretty good, and we decided to have a spa day.
Oh,
Just gonna stay on the ship, have a spa day.
Have a
And then
spa day. That's a great reason.
yeah, yeah, it's great when you're married and you've been together 40 years. You're like, hey, I got something special planned for you. We ain't
so
getting off the ship today.
they'll give you a special discount because they're import and they're trying to obviously sell some booking.
Yes,
Smart.
yes, absolutely. It's
Well,
cheaper.
specials.
It's cheaper to do it in a port day than it is a sea day.
Okay.
Just more tips that you need to know before you
Yep,
go.
keep that in
Right here from
mind.
the
Keep that
Conscious
in mind.
Cruiser.
I would have had no idea. I don't go to the spot too often, actually. So
Yeah, well, it depends on the ship, of course, but they usually will advertise that, or in the compass, or you'll hear announcements on while you're on board, trying to encourage you to come to the. No, don't get me wrong, I love the spa. I'm jealous over here, but yeah, you do kind of have to be paying attention so that you can go and do that on a port day.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing, like y'all were talking about, is going on the dry slides, the water slides, things like that with less people. Or maybe you want a better chance at winning trivia. Get that ship on the stick, playing the beanbag toss. You got a better chance because there's less competition. Just some other ideas for you out there. If you like getting a ship on a stick there, or winning a trivia, you go in
Mhm.
there. Now there's only 10 people in there instead of 100 people. So just got a better chance. Just another tip for you there from the Conscious Cruiser. And we'd like to thank everybody who's coming in here listening to us on Spotify. Please go ahead, like, subscribe, follow, and on YouTube, the Conscious Cruiser channel, YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe there as well. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell people you know, tell people you don't know, tell everybody. Come on over and subscribe to the Conscious Cruiser. We're trying to get to our first 1 million subscribers on both Spotify and YouTube. So come on and be one of the first million. How about that? But I digress. We'll move on to question number 2. And we'll be kicking off with Scott on this one. Give Elisa a break.
Thank you.
Would you stay on board to get that better price on the spa, like I just talked about, or maybe have a better chance to win that ship on the stick that I just mentioned, or maybe get on that dry slide or wet slide you was talking about? Would you say, hey, I'm going to stay on the ship so I can go do some of that stuff?
I absolutely would. And I will tell you too, for my drinking buddies out there, the bars are definitely a lot less crowded. So you can get that drink a lot quicker, that you're not going to have to wait and tap your stateroom card, because I know you guys tap your stateroom cards. Okay. You can just walk up and you can get a nice drink because the bar will be nice and empty. Okay. For you. Okay. And because I'm staying on. Okay. Yes, I am definitely staying on. I'm probably not going to the spa. I am a little ticklish too. So like massages, I give really good massages too. I don't know if that, I'm just telling you. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, but I give really good massages, but like getting them, I don't know. When people touch me a little bit, like I get a little, I get a little like skittish. That's the word. I get a little like, like
You could go and have a facial. You could have,
no.
you could have a pedicure.
No, definitely not. No. You ain't nobody. No, you ain't touching my feet. Nobody's seeing my feet. No one's touching my feet. No. Stomach, feet, no back. No. I'm ticklish. I am pretty skittish and ticklish. If you guys didn't know, so
We didn't know. Who knew? Who knew that?
Now we know.
Now we know.
But if you want a massage, I'm your guy. Just saying. I even got the look too. I even got the.
Okay, Elisa, would you stay on board to get that better price, win that ship on the stick, go down that water slide, get to the bar? How about it?
How about it? I'm sure there is going to be a time, a day that I'm actually going to do that. I think about it, but actually doing it is another thing. But I will say, as we've been sitting here talking, when I was when I went on Celestial Journeys, went to Greece, that cruise was so port intensive, which is great. I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make sure that I went to every port. Like I said, I generally like to get off, and I wanted to get off at each stop and say that I've been there, get my magnet, get my picture, all that. And then like, I don't know, I'm just gonna pick a day 6 of 7, I like hit a wall. I'm just like, I can't. I just can't. I've just stayed on board. I think everybody went to the beach that day, and I'm like, you guys go, have a good time, come back and tell me about it. So I'm gonna throw resting in there as another reason to stay on board. Like maybe you've just been go, 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 and you don't want to come home exhausted from your vacation. You want to feel rested and rejuvenated and all that good stuff. So yeah. I
Yeah,
generally like to go, but that time I needed a rest.
that's brilliant. And I didn't even write that on my notes, but people who got mobility issues like myself, I found out that doing 3 extensive walking days in ports, I can't do it.
Mm,
So I know in the future, that third day, I better stay on the ship or go off. If I got to go off, I better go in the wheelchair because
mhm,
sometimes you can overdo yourself. For me, I
yeah.
end up busting my stump open, and I'm in a wheelchair for 2 months. But other people got other issues, and they may exhaust themselves, may just wear themselves out and finally can't even walk back to the ship and have to get assistance. So I
Right.
think planning that day of rest in there, if you're looking at all your ports, and you may say, well, which one of these can I take off somewhere here in the middle? And just give me a good excuse to come book this cruise again so I can do it again. So
Go
if I
back to
miss
the
this port right
Portuguese.
here, you know, so that's another thing to plan on too. Look at your excursions, look at your ports. Is there a lot of walking, a lot of stairs, a lot of things that are going to wear you out, especially if you have some physical limitations? Plan it out, and like Alicia said, take a day off. Take a
Take
day
a day
off.
off.
I think that's just an excellent idea. Just more fantastic tips here from the Conscious Cruisers, y'all. I
We
just
try, you guys. We try.
Nothing
can't
wrong
believe
with a day of cruise naps. Just, nap, eat, nap, eat, nap, eat, poop,
it. Yeah.
nap, eat, Just saying. You got to let it out, guys. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
I'm
It's
just saying.
just cycle.
But,
It's just
just
saying.
sleep, eat, and sleep and eat. There's nothing wrong with that. I love
Yeah,
it.
and we take that day, and do that stuff on the ship when there's nobody there. We've mentioned we might go to the spa, we might go play some games, or sometimes we'll sit around and catch up on a book we want to read,
Yeah.
things like that. It's just you got to relax. We're also there to relax, not just do a whole bunch of stuff. And especially
Yeah.
when you get over 20, over 30, over 40, 50,
Or
60.
yes, I've been told by friends and family, like, why are you carrying that book? You're not gonna read it. Because I lug this book, and then it's like, I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to go there, I want to go there, and I never sit down and read it. So if you want to read your book on the deck, you got to make some time.
Yeah, take one of those port days and sit out there on the deck and read that book.
Sit down
You'll
and
probably end
read
up
your
falling
book.
asleep though.
Yeah, honestly, you probably would. I would.
It's okay.
There's nothing
Again,
better than a cruise nap. Nothing better
relax.
than a
Yes,
cruise nap.
cruise nap.
Hey, you know what? We got fantastic sponsors here at the Conscious Cruiser, and we want to make sure we share these wonderful sponsors with you. So let's check out one of them right now.
I know it's this crazy couple. Have you ever seen them? I don't know, but you should stop around on Sunday nights.
Hi, I'm Robin. This is Chet, and we're Sea Lake Journeys.
That's right. So come on with us, and we're going to show you the ships, the ports, and the excursions that we do while we're cruising.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and of course, YouTube.
That's right. So come on and join us on all the fun things we're going to do. We also have live shows Wednesday and Friday morning at 8:30 Eastern Time and Sunday night at 6 p.m. So come on and join us there too.
And don't forget, we have a wide variety of videos on YouTube, from everything from the food, to the rooms, to the excursions, to the ships.
That's right. So come on and join us for the fun here at Sea Lake Journeys. How about that? Join us
Yeah.
here at the fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, cruising is great. We love cruising. All three of us love cruising here at the Conscious Cruiser. And stick around with us. We're going to tell you more of the reasons why. Part of the reasons why is because, hey, you don't have to get off the ship if you don't want to. You don't have to get off of that port. You can stay on the ship. There's stuff to do. Or you can do a little bit of nothing like we do sometimes. But hey, we're going to skip back up to Elisa here real quick for question number 3.
Okay.
All right, Elisa, in your opinion, do you get better service while everyone else is off the ship?
Ooh, that's kind of a tough one because I mean I think I've said several times before, like I always feel like I get great service on cruise ships, and the crew will go out of their way to try and help you and make you comfortable and help you to have a great time, a great trip. I'm sure there are times where it benefits that it's less crowded. But on the port days in particular, um, I feel like there's less staff, there's less crew working
Mm.
as well. They
Mm.
may have a day off, or they may have a shortened schedule to try to rotate everybody around. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have 10 people running over to you asking to take your drink order, but you could have a little more relaxed time where they're able to stop and have more of a conversation with you. So I don't know that you get better service, but you do notice the difference, if that makes sense. You do notice, obviously, that there are not 5,000 people on the ship with you.
Yeah,
You do notice that.
I noticed it. Did you notice that, Scott?
Yes, yes. I think the word actually that Elisa is looking for, I think, might be intimate, a little bit more intimate, kind of. I wouldn't say one-on-one, but you can definitely get like a bartender to open up their personality. They definitely have a little bit more time to talk. So if you were to ask them, hey, when's your next vacation? Where are you from? Do you have any kids? Things like that, surface questions. You'll
Yeah.
find them opening up a little bit more. And if they are one of those bartenders or even one of those service people that have, tricks, some people have bar tricks, some people have jokes, like some of these entertainers. So you might get more of that. I know one of my buddy, actually Savio, who works on the ship, when he's not busy, if he really likes you, he'll show you a bar trick. He's got many bar tricks. I probably like a dozen and a half bar tricks, with all different kinds of things, from straws to pens, what writing down things. They're all kind of like little, either sleight of hand or, using your mind, but it engages yourself with your clientele, right? So it's one of those things where you have the moment to make that connection, especially if somebody's going to be on a ship with you for 7 or 9 days. If you have that time to connect with another human being or individual or guest, right? It's only gonna end up helping you at the end of the day, showing a little bar trick or personality, Just saying. Now when you go to tip Kevin or Savio or Billy or whoever, you're like, I like that guy. He showed me the thing, he showed me the thing. Let's give him an extra little dollar, So, but yeah, you will. You definitely will. I don't think, like Lisa said, it's better service, because I think the service all over, I would say, is pretty good no matter what cruise line you go on. But I think it's just a little bit more intimate, right? Because there are less guests, right? And they can be a little bit more intimate with you, and they can be a little bit more kind of like one-to-one, and here rather than
that is a good word, because they're on the ship all the time, right? They're used to the crowd. They know the flow. They know that on this day it's going to be hectic, and this day it's going to be less busy. But they're like on their game the whole time. So I feel like it's more that you have a chance to see them doing those things, whereas before you might be a couple rows back and not have the up close experience with them. So yeah, I think they work hard, and they do such a great job in trying to keep us all entertained, whether we are wanting to be on the ship, have to get off the ship, import, sea day, whatever.
entertained and drunk, both. Savio, that one's for you, buddy.
Yeah, when I was coming up with this question, the better wasn't really the word I was looking for, but definitely different. I noticed, like you say, because some of the crew has got off the ship too, so you still have basically the same ratio of crew to passengers. At least it appears that way to me. But it seems like they're not as rushed. It seems like they're a little more chill, and I especially notice it first thing in the morning. If you go to the main dining room for breakfast, they don't have a whole bunch of people to wait on. So they're like, hey, and sometimes they'll even like bring me over an extra side of something or extra eggs or whatever. I guess I always look hungry. People like bringing me food. I don't know why that is. Or they like to see how much I can eat. I don't know. But I don't know if you define that as better service, but it's definitely like you can tell that they're like, oh, well, we don't have a bunch of people here to bring food to. Let's bring that guy some more food. How about that? So some people might interpret that as better service or more gooder service. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
something like that.
it is a difference, though, isn't it? And when they bring you something, it does come a little quicker, because they're not having to look through the crowd for you to bring you that orange
You're like,
fruity
"You still
cocktail.
here?"
Yeah. There's only 2 people here, and it got to be that guy. So I guess instead of saying better, it's definitely different because there's a less rush to them. They're a little more chill, and they get to you a little better. But there definitely is a difference. I think we all agree on that. Which leads me to the fourth question here, the last one, big old question of the cast. Is it easier to get to know the crew, and to get to know other passengers while the ship is less crowded on a port day? Easier to get to know them.
This is what I mean. Like, I feel like I have multiple. Sorry if I'm jumping. I feel like I have so many conversations with the crew, no matter what. You could be in the most crowded windjammer buffet situation, and if you just happen to strike up the conversation with them, they're having the conversation with you. Yes, they are aware of whatever else is going on around them, and they may have to cut it short because they have to go do this or do that, but they give you their attention, for whatever amount of time that interaction is. So I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. You go.
So you get to know them regardless if there's people or not.
Yeah, I guess I talk. Like, surprise, I talk to people, and they're always willing to strike up the conversation. And matter of fact, like, because we all have our own channels, and we're always, vlogging. I will try to not put the camera. I try not to put the camera like in their faces. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to take the area or trying to whatever. And as soon as they see you with the camera, they're like, hey.
Yeah, they do.
They jump in it, and then I'm like, oh, and then I sometimes I'll turn the camera off and was like, hey, do you mind? This is blah 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 blah, and or ask them, I'm going to ask you this. Is that okay? Kind of thing. So they're not like, so they don't feel like they're so on the spot and they have to perform, but they will. They just start talking. They want the interaction as opposed to, hi or nothing.
Because that's what they normally get. That's what they normally get. So I think what Elisa is trying to say is be the initiator. Okay, be the initiator. Talk. Open your mouth. You're on a cruise. Okay, whether it's a port day, a sea day, elegant night, a 70s night, an 80s night, a night that you don't want to talk. Guess what? Talk. Okay, because you're there. You're only there for 6 days, 7 days, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, whatever it is. And you want to know what? Most of the time, you're not going to see those people again. Okay, most of the time. So open your mouth, have a conversation. Maybe you will. Hey, maybe you get a number. Maybe you get something, whatever. Johnny Rocket Ship. But just open your mouth, okay, and just talk to your fellow cruise guest and also your fellow cruise crew, okay? Because most of them, 99% of them, are nice. And if they're not nice, then you just dismiss them and say, hey, go get some ice cream, Bob. You seem a little grumpy, okay? Not my fault, okay? You got one shoe on.
That's our default. Hey, there's an ice cream machine right there, right? Yeah. It's always better after the ice cream.
Right. It's not my fault your wife is mad at you, Bob, okay?
I always feel like I don't want to bother the crew, especially on busy days. So I'm usually just give them one of these or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't strike up a lot of conversation with them until if it's like a port day, it's a little bit slower, and we'll tell them, hey, our cabin's fine, don't even got to worry about it today. One less thing for you to do. So now with that extra 10 minutes in your life, what are you going to do today?
They're like working another cabin.
Are you going to go call your family? Are you going to go buy some socks? What's going on with you? So that's kind of the time that will strike up a conversation with a crew. And I make sure I give them the day off of my room. I've just cleared up 10 minutes of your time. Now, can I steal it back from you and have a conversation here for a minute? So that's kind of how I do it that way. Because, man, I'm like, as busy as they are, I just feel like I'm bothering them. I mean, maybe I'm not. Maybe that's the wrong field of thought. But I want to make sure I don't take their time until I give them some time. So, okay, don't worry about this room. It's fine. But then on talking to people, I don't know. I'm shy. Yeah. I'm shy, all right. Yeah, you know me. Y'all have met me. So, I'll just talk to anybody. I usually get in the elevator and I go, is this the horizontal elevator? I want to go that way.
What?
I want to go that way. Whatever. Just say something goofy. Or we're standing there in the elevator and we'll do a freeze frame in some weird positions, wait for the door to open, and we stand there and we'll go, okay, if you get on the elevator, you got to do this. And see how many people still come in the elevator and do it with us. Have some fun, people. If they aren't smiling, sometimes they'll give them the smile, and they're a little grumpy, and they ain't. Well, then,
Bob, go get some ice cream, Bob.
Get some ice cream, Bob. Yeah, your sugar's too low.
Yeah, and of course you can follow their lead, of course. If they don't seem like they have time to stop and talk, that's fine. I'm not like, no, you will have a conversation with me. No, it's not like that. But you'd be surprised, like just the simple hello, like you're saying, good morning. You pass them a million times in the hallway. How many conversations that have started for me of like, what are you doing today? Oh, make sure you go and check out this or check out that. Like they're just they like to talk too, and I think they like the acknowledgement of you did see me, right? You saw me. You didn't just walk past me and pretend like I wasn't there. I'm a human.
I just find it a little easier, though, on those port days where you're not getting off the ship. Whoever's there, it's far less crowded, so you can goof off in the elevator. You can ask people off-the-wall questions when you walk into them. You go, is this your first time on an elevator? I've never been on. How does this thing work? Just say something off the wall, and they'll start laughing,
That's probably true though with the smart elevators, because people are always like, wait, what? You can't press a button once you get inside it, but you're still looking for the button.
I have taught many a lesson about smart elevators on the ship. We've had to instruct people, and sometimes they still don't get it. They go, huh? Well, which floor? I want to go to 9. Is that elevator going to go to 9? I said, well, you got to push a button and find out. Come on, I'll show you. It's great.
Like this.
But port days, when everybody's off the ship, you ain't got to worry about the crowds and stuff. I think it's a little easier for me anyway to strike up a conversation with somebody. The busy days, I kind of leave everybody to do their busy, wherever it is they're busy doing, being busy, but that's just a little easier. That's all. I'll tell you what, I think we've learned a thing or two today. We've learned that,
if you
can have a good time.
One sec. Yeah. If you want to light up a crew member, I will tell you the 2 questions, and these are not secrets, okay? 2 questions that you ask a crew member, okay? Any crew member, it doesn't matter what they do, okay? 1, where are they from? Because I'll tell you, 99% of the chance, 99.9%, they're not going to say USA. Okay. Even if they say, I'm from London. Okay. That's something different. But most of the time, they're going to say like Zimbabwe or China or somewhere that you have never, ever been. Okay. So ask them where they are from. Okay. That will light them up because they're like, wait, me? It's like, yeah, you. Where you cleaning my room? Where are you from? Like, oh, I'm from Thailand, sir. And then you talk, oh, I've always wanted to go to Thailand, right? That opens a conversation. 2, ask them when their next vacation is, okay? Meaning when they get to go home next and actually stop working 7 days a week and stop folding your bed, Nancy, okay? Ask them when they get to go home next. The 2 questions that will light them up, where are you from? And when do you get to go home next, or when is your next vacation? They'll almost jump in your arms just because you asked a question. Those 2 questions, they don't take much, but you want to know what? It shows that you care. It shows that you're at least privy to the fact that, they're not from the United States, okay? And you're asking them somewhat of a sort of an intimate question, but it's a surface intimate question, right? Makes you
I do them even better than that, Scott, because I read their name tag and it'll say India or Thailand, and I'll go, do I detect an Indian accent from you right there? Which part of India are you from? And be like, oh, how'd you know? Or have Thailand on their pen. I'll be like, have you ever been to Thailand? Yeah. I thought I saw you there. I was in Thailand 6 months ago. Was you in Thailand 6 months ago? And they're like, You know, then it's off the chain. It's off the chain. So.
And then they go, okay, where were you in Thailand? And you go,
You know that place down by the tree. There's a river there. There's a river there, but and then they really start laughing. Yeah,
Chet just
it's
gives
a Sea Lake Journey thing.
and they go away.
But try it. Yeah, by the way, somebody left their finger there by the river, and I found it. Can you help me get it back to them?
Oh my goodness!
I don't think anybody can take any more of this episode number 70. So we better get them out of here and get ready for episode number 71, which next week is going to be about. Hold on, I'll read it here to you. It's going to be about, what does it say? Things that should stay at home when you're going on your cruise. So come on next week, y'all, find out what you should leave behind when you're going on your cruise. Don't take it with you. We're going to tell you what it is next week. Thank y'all for joining us here. The Conscious Cruiser on YouTube and on Spotify. And on behalf of the Conscious Cruiser, I'm Chet from Sea Lake Journeys. With me is Scott, the Controversial Cruising, and Elisa's Adventures in Cruising. Elisa, until next time, we'll be right here preparing episode 71 for you.
That's right. We'll see you guys later. And if you go on over to Go Live Together, give them a little conscious raid and let them know that the three of us sent you on over. So we will see you guys later. Crew out. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you at the mood check.
I already beat you.